Today's Patriots Today features two main topics. The latest Patriots coaching rumors after Bill O'Brien left the New England Patriots to take the Ohio State football offensive coordinator job. But we are going to focus more on the defensive side of the ball as Jerod Mayo is continuing to file for defensive coordinator interviews in attempt to fill out his staff. Also on today's show, should the Patriots draft LSU quarterback and Heisman winner Jayden Daniels with the third overall pick? We'll get to that on the second half of today's show, so stick around for that. But first, I should say, we are in the middle of the offseason, and if you want a Patriots mock draft soon, whether it be tomorrow, whether it be Sunday or Monday, like that video, prove to me that you want to see more Patriots mock drafts, because if you guys hit that like button and show me you do, that's what will bring you on the channel. But I do want to jump into the coaching news to start off today's video because, well, Jonathan Jones, not the Jonathan Jones on the New England Patriots, tweeted this out. The Patriots plan to interview defensive line coach DeMarcus Covington for their vacant defensive coordinator position. Source says Covington has been on the Patriots staff with new head coach Jerod Mayo since 2017. And I'm happy that New England is looking inward, at least for DeMarcus Covington. I know a lot of us fans out there believed that the best way to fill out the rest of the coaching staff and the GM is looking outside of the organization. But let me tell you this right now. There are a lot of talented people in this building right now when it comes to the staff and it comes to GM. Do I still believe that Robert Kraft and Mayo should look outward and outside of the organization to find the next GM of the New England Patriots? I do. But I do not hate DeMarcus Covington potentially being the next defensive coordinator for the Patriots because he has done an excellent job with that Patriots defensive line. They held the best yards per carry on an attempt against New England today. They were number one in the NFL, right? They allowed 3.3 yards per carry against them. That's pretty darn good. Him and Mayo clearly have a good working relationship as Mayo was the linebackers coach. He installed the defensive game plan, and Covington was able to get his position group in a really good spot. Also, Christian Barmore, he was fantastic this year. I think Covington had a role in that. Mark Daniels also coming in here on Covington and saying that he should be the favorite for this position because he's viewed as a future DC and has aspirations becoming a head coach in the National Football League. He interviewed with the Cardinals last year for a potential defensive coordinator gig. Obviously, he was with New England again. But if other teams around the league believe he could be a defensive coordinator, well, then the Patriots should absolutely look into him. And just among Covington, there was also three other names that the Patriots and Jerod Mayo have their eyes on potentially being the next defensive coordinator. Today, two guys were requested for interviews. Michael Hodges, the linebackers coach in the New Orleans Saints, which is a name to keep your eye out for because he's done a terrific job with Demario Davis, Caden Ellis before he went to the Falcons. Hodges, interesting name to keep your eye on. Christian Barker, the DB coach in Denver, obviously someone who's had success developing Patrick Surtain. Those two were requested today. Tem Lukabu, the outside linebackers coach in Carolina, was requested a little bit ago, but another name to keep your eye on for as the Patriots do continue to interview new candidates for potentially filling that defensive coordinator role. We still don't know what's going to happen with Bill Belichick. It seems like he's going to go to the Atlanta Falcons, but yet they're still scheduling interviews with Mike Vrabel, a second interview with Jim Harbaugh. And the reason why I bring up Belichick is because, well, he could bring his two sons, Steve and Brian, with him to his new staff, but if he doesn't, well, Steve Belichick is a really good option in-house as well to be the next defensive coordinator of the New England Patriots. But let me know. Spam it down in the comment section. Who do you want to be the defensive coordinator for the Patriots in 2024? There's the four names I just mentioned. There's also a couple Belichicks and maybe some other options outside of the organization. Let me know who you have your eyes set out for to be the defensive coordinator in New England for the next season. I do want to also mention two other names, not with defense and not with offense, believe it or not. No official interview requests have been sent out for filling that Bill O'Brien vacancy at offensive coordinator, but two special teams has been announced. Jeremy Springer, not the show, and Marquise Williams have been two names that have been requested for interview. Obviously, the Patriots special teams have really been lacking over the past 2 years. Cam Accord, I wouldn't be upset if he ended up leaving to join Bill Belichick's staff, or Jerod Mayo just straight up moved on from him. The Patriots special teams has not been good lately. I think they need fresh coaching there as well, so keep your eye out for Jeremy Springer and Marquise Williams. Which brings me to this point with the Patriots coaching staff. The Patriots are going to have a new head coach, a new offensive coordinator, a new defensive coordinator, and a new special teams coach in 2024. Change is on the horizon for our New England Patriots, so be ready for it, embrace it, because when those things happen, we're going to have you covered, and it's probably for the better, as the last 2 seasons in New England have not been the prettiest that we've seen. Like I said, make sure you do subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all Patriots coaching news, whether it be defensive coordinator interviews, offensive coordinator interviews. When they officially make those hires, we will have you locked in better than anyone else on YouTube when it comes to the Patriots news on their coaching staff. Can we get to 7,500 today? I believe we can. Hit that sub button. All right, let's jump into the second half of today's video, and it's about the LSU Heisman winner, Jayden Daniels. Should the Patriots take Daniels with the 3rd overall pick? Because Daniel Jeremiah, who is someone I respect quite a bit in the NFL draft industry, works for NFL.com, released his first mock draft for the 2024 NFL draft, and he had Jayden Daniels going to the New England Patriots with pick number 3 after Caleb Williams went to the Bears at 1 and Drake May went to the Commanders with the 2nd overall pick. Here's what Daniel Jeremiah did have to say on the LSU quarterback. While Marvin Harrison Jr. would be tempting here, the Patriots need to address the quarterback position first and foremost. Daniels is coming off a monster year as a dual threat weapon. Obviously, as I mentioned, he did win the Heisman, so yeah, he was very good in his final season in Death Valley. Before I break down Jayden Daniels as a prospect in just a second, let me know, be the GM, whoever that ends up being, would you want to draft Jayden Daniels with the 3rd overall pick? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Get in the comment section and let your voice be heard. Daniels won the Heisman, and it was for good reason. Had a 72.2% completion percentage while not just checking the ball down, by the way. He absolutely can sling the rock down the field. You question his complete arm strength. It's just not on the level of Drake May and Caleb Williams, but he does have a pretty deep ball. He's very mobile with his legs. 1,100 rushing yards, 10 rushing touchdowns to go alongside a ridiculous touchdown-interception ratio of 40 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. And it's not just Daniel Jeremiah and other NFL draft analysts that have him high. Mel Kiper has Jayden Daniels as his 4th-ranked prospect in totality. That's a little bit different from other people. A lot of people have Daniels maybe in the 8 to 15 range of prospects, at least as of now, but because of the quarterback position and position of need for New England, he goes 3 in a lot of mock drafts, but Mel Kiper is doubling down on Jayden Daniels, saying he's the 4th-ranked prospect in his opinion. His top 4, by the way, I just want to throw this out there. I actually have the top 5 for you. Went Caleb Williams 1, Marvin Harrison Jr. 2, Drake May 3, Daniels 4, and then Rome Odunze, the wide receiver from Washington, at number 5. More on Jayden Daniels, by the way. He was ranked number 1 in the country this past season in total QBR, 95.7, while completing 72.2% of his passes, while averaging 11.7 yards per attempt. And I do want to clarify something and make the point on Jayden Daniels doesn't just check the ball down. So that completion percentage of 72.2, it's not because he's throwing the ball not that deep down the field. But I do want to clarify with the 11.7 yards per attempt. I don't think that's the correct way to view the statistics of quarterbacks coming out in terms of how they're willing to push the ball downfield. I believe that is average depth of target. Why? Because yards per attempt factors in the just total yards on each completion. So if you throw a 5-yard pass and he picks up 15, well, that goes down as a 15-yard attempt. Depth of target is how far down the field the person you're trying to throw to actually is, which is why I looked at this and take this more in depth. And it's not a slight on Jayden Daniels. He's still in the top half number 3 to be exact, of the presumed top 6 quarterbacks in this NFL draft with an average depth of target of 10.5 yards. The leader in that category is the North Carolina QB, Drake May. But it's just a little bit lower than the yards per attempt, which means he does get some help after the catch from his wide receivers, and he was obviously throwing to 2 elite ones in Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr., 2 presumed first-round picks as well in this upcoming draft. But he's not Bo Nix, who just is a check-down merchant. Daniels is really solid at analyzing the defense, realizing he can push the ball downfield to Neighbors or Brian Thomas Jr., or just taking the check down, or jumping out of the pocket and go scrambling and running for a 15, 20-yard gain, which he did so effectively for the LSU Tigers. But the question I have with the Patriots selecting Jayden Daniels at 3 is the risk of the quarterback position, Jayden Daniels, at 3, worth passing on the generational wide receiver prospect of Marvin Harrison Jr.? It's been something I have been very wary about throughout this early draft process, I should say. I think the risk of quarterback with Caleb Williams and Drake May is good enough to pass up on Marvin Harrison Jr. I am not completely sold on that risk with Jayden Daniels just yet. Obviously, the quarterback position is the most important position in every single sport. You have an elite one, you're going to have a chance to win ball games. Patriots really need to upgrade that spot. They also need to upgrade wide receiver. I believe that Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best player in this draft class, regardless of position. Caleb Williams, I know he gets Mahomes comps. He's a fantastic ball player. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best overall player for their position in this draft class, and it's the thing that I'm battling with internally right now is Jayden Daniels in the quarterback spot worth passing up MHJ at pick number 3? I think Drake and Caleb are. Is Jayden Daniels? That's yet to be seen. But obviously, there's a long way to go until the NFL draft in April. It's still only mid-January, so hit that sub button. Lock us in here at Patriots Today, as we will have you covered better than anyone else around the Patriots draft rumors leading up to that big day in late April. Twitter, articles, YouTube, it don't matter. We'll do it better than all of anyone else. So hit that sub button and join us for the long but fun off season.